This month's Smash Our Stash theme was embellishments. I just wanted to share what I smashed and what I made. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. This is the Smash Our Stash collaboration. It's just a small collaboration that I sponsor that focuses on using up some easily hoarded or oft forgotten items in your stash. There is a playlist in the description box below that has some other collaboration team members, and so please be sure to check that out and see how they used the prompt for this month and what they made. So there is a prompt every month that just kind of gives you some guidance. This month the prompt or theme was embellishment, so that could be stickers, 3D embellishments, handmade, store-bought, it doesn't matter. Just embellishments. So I focused on the drawer I'm going to show you right here. It is my miscellaneous embellishment drawer. So anything that doesn't fit in any other category goes in this drawer. It has been overflowing for a while. I can't find things in it. Things like fall down behind because the drawer is so full. So I decided to focus on it and work on at least organizing it, cleaning it up, and trying to use some stuff out of it. So how did I do? I did pretty good. I have a couple different kinds of projects here, but I am trying to, I did with this project, I did finally finish my 2018 scrapbook pages. So I kind of made this a two-pronged challenge for myself. Not only was I trying to use up some miscellaneous embellishments to free up that drawer a little bit, but I also wanted to finish my scrapbook pages for 2018. So I went through that drawer and looked for things that I could use on the events or picture themes that I had left to scrap. So I had some family photos, and so I decided to focus on, I had two of this colorful Capture Life sheet from Echo Park and then a black and white version. So they're slightly different, between the color and the black and white. And so I pulled those in. So I used as many of the stickers as I could from that sheet. I have my title, like some groupings here. I had my date. I used this little label to kind of just talk about where we had our pictures taken. And then I also brought in a few other random stickers from my stash. This one I used up. I'll show you how I finished that later. And then I used a few from this sheet. And then I also actually pulled in some gems. I don't use gems very often. So I do scrapbook multiple versions of the same event because I'm making layouts for my album and then both of my daughter's albums. So sometimes you see 3 of the same event. And so that is why. So I did the same thing here. This one is pretty much the same as the last one. This last layout focused more on the black and white sheet. But kind of did the same thing, brought in some stickers and then some gems. So that used up a good amount of what I had left of these sheets. And then I decided to finish them off, or not finish them off. I knew I wouldn't be able to finish them off. But there were some stickers on here that actually had sentiments, like thank you, hello. So I did focus on those and made some cards. Here's 2 that came from the colorful Capture Life. And then this one, I also pulled in some random bits from my miscellaneous drawer. This is a hexagon? Pulling some math this morning. That I had, my daughters and I did some paint smushing projects years ago, and then I die cut them into shapes. So I have 2 of those here that I layered onto this card, as well as a matting piece that was just another already miscellaneous die cut shape in my miscellaneous stash. So did pull some other things out of my miscellaneous drawer to make this card and use up the sticker from the black and white sheet. And then there's another card that I will show you again here in a minute, but I used the hello for the sentiment on that card. So these are going to go back into my drawer just because there's still a lot of usable items on here, but the rest of it should be able to be used up on some pages, and hopefully they won't sit there forever. So next was kind of more of a vintage, rustic, Native American kind of theme here. We went to a local state park that had, it was Family Archaeological Days, and so it was mostly about the Native Americans that, it was Mound State Park, and so it was like the Native Americans that used to do the mound systems for their celebrations and things like that. So I tried to find things in the drawer that would work, and so I had a sheet of these little kind of cork-like, or not cork, they weren't cork, sorry. They were just craft dream catchers from the Dollar Tree. It was a full pack, so I brought those in and peppered those around. And then I also had these random chipboard things, circles, in my stash. And so because I was doing like browns and greens, I did pull those in. And I'm going to call these done because I don't know if you can tell, like this was like discolored. So I've used all the ones that weren't discolored. I have a cork sheet here that I pulled in from my stash. There was vinyl buttons. And so I did use them in a couple different places. And then I pulled in some, this is like a wood piece. I have some random tabs. So a lot of randomness going on these pages. But again, there are 3. And then there was something that had some feathers. And so I actually took a feather and glued it behind the dream catcher because, you know, dream catchers, they have kind of like feathers coming out. I used the vinyl buttons in a couple different ways here. I used the outline up here, and then I used the button part of it to go behind my circle there just because it was green on green. Here I used another feather behind my dream catcher. This was something from my miscellaneous drawer as well. Pulled in a tag. I think these were together in like a little vintage pack. Some more of those green chipboard pieces, a random arrow that was in that drawer, and Sarah, you know those metal tags that you were talking about in your Clear It Out? I had those metal tags, and then I also had stickers that looked like the metal tags. And I think this is the last sticker that I have left, so at least those are gone. So, and then as far as papers, I just kind of pulled some loose papers in from my stash. So after I did the layouts, I had about half a sheet of the dream catchers left, these. Oh, and then I also pulled out these are cork arrows from Fun Stamper's Journey to try and use, but I could not get any of them off the backer sheet in one piece. I was bummed because I really wanted to use those. But I took the rest of the dream catchers and just put them together. I found this sketch, Specially Made Sketches number 523, and kind of turned it horizontally and kind of reworked it a little bit. But it just brought in, used up the rest of the dream catchers and then a sentiment from my stash. And then I brought in some brown vinyl circles just to kind of help accent and ground it a little bit since there was a lot going on. So these are done. I'm calling these done, and then I'm going to have to call these done because I couldn't use them. That was a bummer. Next, this is a layout of when I switched my craft rooms from our bonus room upstairs outside my daughter's bedroom to our dining room. And there were a couple of things that kind of made this have to happen. But I was really excited. I loved this room upstairs in the bonus room at first, but it was just not laid out great. And it was hard because when my daughters were sleeping, I couldn't do anything that made noise. Like I couldn't run my silhouette. I couldn't watch my TV, like all that stuff. And so, it was kind of nice to come to the dining room, and then the dining room is also right off the kitchen, so it's just easier for me to access. I could pop in between things to craft, so that was nice. This was what my old room looked like, and then this is what the new room looked like before I made a mess in it. So as far as what embellishments I used a few of this little random sticker sheet. I think these are from Photo Play. It was like the gnome, whatever his name is. And it's like a crafty gnome set that was a 12 by 12 sheet, and then you could fussy cut out the embellishments out of it. So I used a couple things from that, and then some more of those postage stamp stickers that were on this sheet. And then I brought in a few Simple Stories puffy stickers that kind of matched, just to bring in a little bit of texture. So several miscellaneous things on that one. And then my last set of layouts here was Spring Dance Recital. And I had a sheet that was like puffy stickers, and it had some words and some shapes. And it wasn't a full sheet, but it was mostly. And so like these stars, these little arrows were from that. Love, and then this little pointer and the star were all from that puffy sheet. And then I brought in those gems again. And then I also found it was like 4 little sections of music notes. And I think it was mostly full. And so I kind of brought those in as well and peppered those around on all of the different layouts. And then another one of those postage stamp stickers, one of those random word stickers. And then the last version, very similar. So on these, I did use up the full sheet of the puffy stickers, and I had some music notes left, so I decided I had recently seen this sentiment that I had when I was going through sentiments in my little container on my desk, and it says, "Without music, life would be flat." And I can't remember why I had printed them out. I think I had made some music teacher gifts years ago when my girls were still in school and had some left. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll do a little Post-it note holder with these on it, and I can bring in the rest of the music notes. So I also pulled in, I found some stickers in my stash that had, I think they were old Creative Memory stickers, that had a border strip that was a piano keyboard. So I just put that behind my sentiment with my black scallop circle here, and then decorated with the music notes. And then again, just pulled in some paper from my loose paper stash, trying to work through that as well. So that these projects used up both of these sheets. So then I had a bunch of these left, and I really wanted to use them. They weren't very sticky anymore, and so they were kind of coming off. So I figured I would just use those up. So I found a few sketches in my stash that I thought would work. This one is a Cards TV sketch, and I just took 3 of the squares and added them here on the side, and then just brought in some scraps. And then this is Reverse Confetti number 27, and I just created some little kind of window style groupings here, and then layered them on some cardstock or pattern paper, and just kind of created, you know, this one's a double layer. So I just tried to kind of work colors that were in the, I found this, let me start again. I found the stickers that coordinated well together color-wise, and then worked some of the paper together that coordinated as well. Words are hard today, I am sorry. So this one is more orange and green, so I kind of used the green dot up here, and then orange to matte, and then this one had some more pinks and yellows. So this one actually said, "I love you." And so I just took a happy birthday to you sentiment and kind of stuck it up over the I love you, because most of these cards will probably end up being donated. So I love you is a little bit harder to donate, but that smashed this sticker sheet. So that was good. And then when I had been looking through my miscellaneous stuff, I found this piece. It's dimensional, and I don't know if it came off a card or, I know my mom always saved pieces like this from cards, like handmade cards that she thought I could use. So I don't know if it came from her or my mother-in-law, but it still had the backing on it. So I don't know. So I decided to go ahead and use it. And it was an easy use because it made the card front. I just added a black mat so that it would pop out, and then stuck a little sentiment there behind the flowers, but then that one was done. So I did. I used up a good amount of stuff in my stash. Here's what the drawer looks like now. So it is manageable again. We'll see how long it stays that way. But I feel really good about getting some of these items. I killed two birds with one stone with this one. I fulfilled two goals. I finished my 2018 scrapbooking and cleared out my miscellaneous drawer a little bit. So that was awesome. Again, please be sure to check out the playlist linked below and see what everybody else used. It's always so fun to see how everybody takes the same theme and uses it to fit their strengths, their plans, their interests. So please be sure to check that out. Sorry, this one was a little bit longer of a share, but I do thank you so very much for your time today, and I hope you all have a very crafty day.